Hey there, Samitian here, and welcome to The Elder Scrolls III Morrowind. As you may be able to tell by looking at this title screen, this is not the vanilla version of the game. I am running the Open Morrowind Enhanced mod list for Open Morrowind. Open Morrowind is a open source project, basically rebuilding Morrowind for modern hardware. You basically take your Steam or standalone version of Morrowind, point Open Morrowind to it, and you can play the game in a way that makes sense on a computer that's been made in the past 20 years. Um, the Open Morrowind Enhanced mod list is a really chunky mod list filled with lots of mods, from graphical mods to gameplay changing mods to all sorts of other things. Content, new regions, quests, all that sort of goodies you expect from a Bethesda game mod list. Um, Morrowind is one of my favorite games from my childhood. I played a lot of it when it first came out. I played so much of it to the point when my computer couldn't run Oblivion. I got so sad I sold my SNES and all of my SNES games to buy an Xbox 360 so I could play Oblivion on an Xbox 360. That was probably a mistake in hindsight, but I wanted to play the cool new game. So I'll talk about some of the changes once I get into the game. Uh, yeah, let me click this new button and start a new game. Each event is preceded by prophecy, but without the hero, there is no event. In the waning years of the Third Area of Tamriel, a prisoner born on a certain day to uncertain parents was sent under guard without explanation to Morrowind, ignorant of the role he was to play in that nation's history.
They have taken you from the Imperial City's prison, first by carriage and now by boat. To the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up. Stand up. There you go. You were dreaming. What's your name?
Okay, so this isn't going to be technically a role-playing playthrough or anything like that, but I do have an idea for my character in mind, and I will take that idea for the character and use that to decide what I'm going to do next. I don't know if I'm going to skip quests or stuff like that, or do avoid save scumming or stuff like that, but I will try and play it like my character would play it. Anyways,
Not even last night's storm could wake you. I heard them say we've reached Morrowind. I'm sure they'll let us go.
let's make my character first and foremost.
Quiet. Here comes the guard.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
As we're in the tutorial, we're following this guard. You don't have to follow him if you don't want to. You can just run on past him. Go up the ladder and leave, but I'd like to make this guard feel like he's doing his job properly and leading us,
Get yourself up on deck and let's keep this as civil as possible.
Adjust the audio a little bit more. The voices feel like they need to be a touch higher. Maybe the music a bit lower. Audio is going to be fun in this episode. I'll get better at it. I'll find a balance that works and see how it goes from there.
This is where they want you. Head down to the dock and I'll show you to the census office.
Anyways, if you're not used to vanilla Morrowind, these faces might not look very good, but trust me,
Let's go.
they look
Moving
better.
along.
Yeah, calm your tits. Look at this nice reflective water. Look at the nice clouds in the sky. Everything looks so good and graphically enhanced.
You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where.
Alright, I am going to be a Bosmer, a Wood Elf. As you may have guessed from my character's name, I'm going to be a female Bosmer. And let's see, what face do I want? I like this one, I think. The hairstyle, little sway in. Now see, this hair looks like it has not changed very much from the vanilla hair. I'd like my hair to look kind of good. I guess a ponytail would be pretty good. So, Bosmers, the Wood Elves. They get bonuses to acrobatics, alchemy, light armor, marksman, and sneak. They have special ability Hunter's Stance, which can fortify marksmen, give themselves Chameleon, which is basically like blending into the environment, but it also drains the speed. They have a passive that resists disease, and they have the Beast Tongue, which can command creatures up to level 25 for 600 seconds. There have been mods that have rebalanced the races a little bit, I believe. Maybe not.
Great. I'm sure
This
you'll
mod
fit
list
right
has
in.
like
Follow
450
me up to
mods,
the
so
office and they'll finish your release.
there's bound to be some stuff that I just don't know because I skimmed through the mod list and was like, wow, this is cool, I should play it. I've been in the mood to play a Bethesda game. Why not Morrowind? Calm down, I'm talking to people on the internet.
Yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
So like I said, this isn't technically a role-playing playthrough, but I have decided the background of my character and basically what she has been through in her life to get to where she is today. So she is not a strong warrior type character. She's been through a lot. She was orphaned at a young age. Let's go with agility and willpower. So she was orphaned at a young age and spent most of her times on the streets of the Imperial City in Cyrodiil, excuse me, stealing from various people. Usually she would just steal like food from stalls on the streets, but as she grew up, she started getting bolder and stealing from more real targets, as one would say. She would break into houses. She would steal from like the rich people in town. And then one day, she stole from the wrong person. She stole from a necromancer. Excuse me. A necromancer living in the outskirts of the Imperial City. And he didn't like that very much. So he decided to keep her and use her in his experiments. He would torture her by casting all sorts of magic on her to test the results of the spells that he was creating. Mysticism magic to absorb souls, conjuration magic to create blades. He would test their potency on her. The destruction magic, he would test the potency of those on her. And basically, she was tortured for a very long time. But she's pretty clever, and she began to learn the inner workings of the magic that he was using on her. And eventually she learned the conjuration spell to conjure a dagger, and one day when he came to do his usual torturing on her, she stabbed him to death, and she was arrested for this. because you can't just stab people. It's against the law, even if they are scumbag necromancers torturing you. So that is the 4 major skills coming from that backstory. Basically, she was a thief, and she learned the conjuration spell to summon a dagger and kill her captor. Now, for the other stuff, let's say she picked up a little bit of magic use from her captor. She needed to be able to sell her stolen goods, so mercantile seems like a decent minor skill to have. Illusion works well with like a thief sort of build, so I'm gonna pick that just because it fits with her like thieviness, and it also fits with her backstory of like stealing the secrets of the wizard who was torturing her. What about the final skill, enchant? It's not exactly a character who is like jumping from roof to roof, infiltrating houses. She was more down to earth, sneaking in at night, sneaking in when people were out. She's not like jumping in through the rooftop windows or anything like that. I do like acrobatics though as a skill, it's just fun. I'll go with another magic thing, I think. What did I take already? Conjuration, illusion, destruction? Wait, I didn't take alteration, did I? No. I took mysticism, right. Because of the whole, like, soul gem thing. Necromancer tried to take some souls. Like I said, I have the basic idea for this character down, but I haven't gotten the full build going. I'm gonna take alteration, I think. Yeah. Okay. So basically, she's like a sneaky wizard, sort of. More sneaky, less wizard. You can write down a class description. I'm not going to do that. Watch episode 1, Smile. That's the class description, because I gave you a backstory on the class.
Very good. The letter that preceded you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
Okay, so I believe she was like, she's kind of cursed, right? So she should be one of the more cursed signs. She could just be the thief.
Interesting.
I didn't mean to
Now, before
double
I
click
start
that.
these papers, make sure this information is correct.
I did not mean to double click that. Let me look at this again. Fortify luck and gives you a sanctuary buff. Sanctuary is nice. Basically reduces the damage you take by that amount, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I'll take the thief. She was a thief. Makes sense. So here are her starting stats. Her strength's pretty fucking low. Intelligence and willpower mediocre. She's got high agility. She's got high luck. And then everything else is kind of pretty bad. So this is not going to be an easy start, obviously. I don't really have a good weapon skill. I have short blade. And my destruction isn't good. Like Bosmer's, they're not really meant to be wizards. But I'm not going to be playing on max difficulty or anything like that, so it should be fine. Morrowind can be pretty hard if you try to do like odd builds. It's not a this game isn't very easy. So There might be a lot of saving. You now have a stats menu, and you can always view your information. Right-clicking allows you to use your menus. Welcome to Morrowind and this weird-ass shit.
Show your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
Imagine being in a video game and right-click opens the menu. So here's our stats. We're level 2. And our stats have changed a little bit, as you might be able to tell. That's due to the level up changing mod that I will talk about in a second. Yeah, NCD DMW has begun. Please see the settings menu to compare your decay and growth rates. So, for release by Emperor Uriel Septim's 7th decree to the district of Vardenfell in the province of Morrowind, named Sharia Lightfoot, race Bosmer, class Urchin. Signed, Secuculus Ergala, agent of the Seydanine Imperial Census and Axis, 16th of Last Seed, 3rd Era, 427. So we now have an inventory menu. Here's us. We look great. We got some random clothes. We got some release identification. Let's go. People familiar
Continue
with
through to the next building and talk to Celisgravius.
People familiar with Morrowind may be aware of an easy early cheese strat, which is to steal this limeware platter, drop it on the ground, and then when he calls you out and takes all of your stolen stuff, you can just pick it up off the ground again. That has been nerfed a little bit, as you can tell. This is a cracked limeware platter and is only worth 125. And also, I'm not really going to be doing like cheesy stuff. I'm all for stealing from these assholes who are basically just Imperial dogs. How dare they? But I'm not going to do it while they're looking right at me. That's just silly. Is there an option so that... I thought there was an option to toggle crouch instead of having to hold it. Guess not. Anyways, we got some random stuff that I don't really care about. Got some materials for alchemy. I'm not really an alchemist, but I could sell some of this stuff. So stealing in Morrowind is slightly more / less complicated than it is in more modern Bethesda games, like Oblivion, Skyrim. Instead of everything being marked as stolen and you having to sell to specific like fences, instead you can just sell stolen goods to anyone. So I can take all this stuff that I'm picking up, go to the store and just sell it all without any consequences. The downside is if you steal from someone and try to sell something that you stole from them back to them, they will know it, and they will call for the guards, and you will get a bounty. So you need to keep track of who you're stealing from and make sure you don't sell the stuff back to them. So I got a dagger. I can equip this dagger. And then... pew! Good chop. Good chop. I need to turn that off. What mod is that? No. Okay, did that fix this? Okay, good. Screw that. So, my speeds are... Oh, my speed goes down from attacking. So does my willpower? Oh, it's because my fatigue is lower, isn't it? As I mentioned before, there are a lot of mods in here, and I'm not familiar with all of them, unfortunately, so I might be doing some stuff and get confused. Biscar, don't think I've forgotten our wager. I want this dagger sharp as a scamp's claw by morning. Ganciel. Oops. So yeah, you can read books that you pick up in your inventory by dragging them to you. To open this chest, you need to pick the lock. It has some gold in it. Hell yeah. Now, do you want to see a cool mod? Would you like to read this book out loud?
The stars of Tamriel are divided into 13 constellations. 3 of them are the major constellations known as the Guardians. These are the warrior, the mage, and the thief. Each of the Guardians protects its 3 charges from the 13th constellation, the Serpent. When the sun rises near one of the constellations, it is that constellation's season. Each constellation has a season of approximately 1 month. The Serpent has no season, for it moves about in the heavens, usually threatening one of the other constellations, the Warrior. The Warrior is the first Guardian constellation, and he protects his...
Okay, so there is a mod that basically uses AI to add voice acting to, I think it's currently at like 70% of the books in the game. It is very cool. I'm a big fan, but AI is sort of like a, I don't know, a hot button issue. So maybe one day if I'm having, like, if I don't feel like actually playing, I'll have like a book club day where we like read a couple of audiobooks together. Doesn't that sound fun? I have a map menu. And people familiar with Morrowind game might notice that there's a lot of mainland going on here that isn't usually in the game. This is from the Tamriel Rebuilt mod. It has been working on adding basically all of the mainland to Morrowind, because Morrowind is more than just the island of Ardenfell, obviously. I'm excited to test some of that stuff out. Now that I'm like looking at this menu more, I can explain exactly how the leveling system works in the mod. So in the normal game, you level up your skills, and then when you've hit 10 major or minor skill level ups, your levels up. And you need to rest, and you can then stick some points into your stats based on how many skills you've leveled up of that type. In this mod, instead, as you level up skills, they level up your stats a bit. So sneak, as I level up sneak, it'll increase my agility, my personality, and my speed. And luck, a little bit. Excuse me. So right now my strength's pretty low. If I like start using like a blunt weapon, start hitting things with a club, my strength will go up. I don't feel like I am bound to my major and minor skills. If I get like a cool sword and like a cool long blade and want to be like, I want to use a long blade now, I'll give it a try. The accuracy of in Morrowind is a little annoying. Everything is based on like dice rolls instead of skills, like player skills. So if you've got a really low long blade skill and you try to hit a crab, you're gonna miss a lot. This is a system that a lot of people don't really like. I think it's pretty cool. It's more like Dungeons and Dragons than, well, anything else. Got a ring. Get some paper. So now I have a magic menu where you can see all my powers, spells, and magic items. So here's my Beast Tongue power. I got my Bound Dagger spell, my Hunter's Stance, and my Summon Ancestral Ghost. I have this Engraved Ring of Healing I just picked up, which, when I use it, can restore my health 1 to 5 points. Anyways, here's Solus Gravius. He's taken my identification papers. So we can talk about his background. We're talking about Morrowind. He doesn't really like us very much because, well, we're just a random-ass foreigner. No one likes foreigners in Morrowind. So he is Solus Gravius and Knight Errant of the Imperial Legion. And we are in Morrowind because Emperor Uriel Septim VII himself decided to release us from prison and send us here. Why would he do such a thing? I don't know. So Uriel Septim is the Emperor of the Empire. Personally authorized our release from prison. It's all very mysterious, but that's the way the Empire works. Silence, secrecy. Let not the left hand know what the right hand is doing. So Morrowind has been part of the Empire for over 400 years. Before that, they were obviously independent, but the Empire likes to get its fingers into all the pies, as one might say. If you played Skyrim, you know they're very keen on interfering with Skyrim's politics. So our duties. I'm to take it to Caius Casadus in the town of Balmora. I gotta go to the South Wall Corner Club and ask for Caius Casadus. They'll know where to find him. Serve him as you would serve the Emperor himself. He's got me a letter. And a dispersal to my name. I believe that means gold. I like gold. So he's a Knight Errant of the Order of Ebonheart, an Imperial Emissary. So he's an Imperial, which is basically the humans. There are a couple of humans. There's like Imperials and there's Bretons, but they're all basically the same. Imperials are the more speechy ones. Bretons are the more magic-y ones. Talks about my duties. So Caius Casadus is in Balmora. And Balmora is north of Satanine. The road passes Pelagiad Village and Fort Pelagiad, crosses a deep ravine, passes Fort Moonmoth, and then turns west across the Ode River and into Balmora. Welcome to Morrowind, where you get directions. You don't get fancy map markers pointing you where to go. Someone just tells you go that way and you'll be there, which is cool. And also can be really hard, especially if you're playing with modded quests and don't know what you're doing and get lost all the time. So he recommends we take the Silt Strider to Balmora. You can take a look at that. So Silt Striders carry passages and cargo between settlements on Vardenfell. Fares depend on distance in which he traveled. Silt Striders are giant insects. A compartment for passengers and cargo is hollowed from the creature's shell. Driver directs the beast by directly manipulating exposed organs and tissues. I forgot that little bit of lore, it's kind of gross. So Silt Striders travel between Aldrune, Balmora, Satanine, Suran, Nissus, Molagmar, Margnan, and North Landing near Vivek. So he doesn't want to tell me about rumors because he doesn't like me. That's fair. Whoops.
Another tourist.
I didn't mean to lockpick you, my friend. Alright, let's leave. You're on your own now. Good luck. So we can check our journal with Jay. We can check our quest lists. And then our topic lists, we can see what everyone says about all the stuff that we've talked about. So report to Caius Casadus. My orders are to go to the town of Balmora in Valardinfell district and report to a man named Kais Casadas. To find where he lives, I should ask in Balmora at the corner club called South Wall. When I find Kais Casadas, I must give him a package of documents and await for further orders. Oops, I keep pressing the wrong button. He gave me a note, didn't he? Directions. Proceed to the town of blah 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 blah. Remember, you owe your life and freedom to the Emperor. Serve him well and you will be rewarded. Betray him and you will suffer the fate of all traitors. I have the honor to prepare this at the direction of His Most Sovereign Majesty, the Emperor Uriel Septim. Glabrio Bellianus. I don't know if Shariah really likes that, but she'll play along for at least for now. So, talking about Balmora has given us the information that Balmora is north of us on the map. We also got information about Pelagiad and the Moonmoth Legion Fort by talking to him. Let me put this away. Oh, I need auto switching off. I thought I had turned that off on its own. There's the Silt Strider. Doesn't that look fancy? Fancy bug. Anyways, here's Fargoth. You the one that boat dropped off? Odd to see a boat arrive at that time of day. Hope the Imperials treated you okay. I swear they took my ring. So, yellow stuff is usually just like normal stuff that you can talk to anyone about, and green or blue stuff is usually stuff that is unique to that character. I swear one of the guards has it. I had it last week before their weekly Let's Shake Down Fargoth ritual. An engraved healing ring, family heirloom of mine. You haven't seen it, have you? You might notice that he likes me slightly more than the guys inside did, and that's because we are both wood elves. And us wood elves gotta stick together. So, should I give him the ring? What would my character do? No. But, sure, I'll give it to you. I don't really care about this damn ring. So suddenly, he likes me a lot more. I am now his favorite friend. I'll be sure to tell the others, especially my friend Ariel, who runs the trade house here. Go see him. He'll be happy to see you now. So now we have some nice relationships with both him and Ariel in the trade house. All for the cost of one engraved ring of healing.
How are you?
Maybe I should have used it first. Ah, little advice. So if I tell her Vodunius Nuckius, if I tell her that he sent me, maybe she'll give me a discount. But first, let's go to Ariel's trade house. See if we can,
Visit peasant.
Wow. So Ariel likes me because Fargoth told him, and he's a friend of Fargoth. Only Hriskar upstairs having some financial troubles. Basically telling us all of the, like, tutorial stuff. You kind of want to have some supplies. Let's see if he's got anything cool. First of all, let me sell some of the trash that I've been picking up. This paper. I like reading, but I'm not really an alchemist, so I'm gonna sell all of my alchemy materials for now at least. keep the cheap-ass dagger. Cast when strikes, fortify resto on self. That's interesting. There's a lot of enchanted daggers here. I don't really have a way to re-enchant them, is the thing. But they're better than this cheap-ass thing I've got growing on right now. I take this Fireblade. Oh, whoops. What was I at before? Like 180 something? Try 190.
Care to trade?
He also's got some spells. Should probably take a destruction spell since I'm trying to do like a mage thing, I guess. I'll take Frostbite. Do I have like an autos or like a quick save? Quick save F5. The same as every video game ever made.
I'm busy, so if you will excuse me.
Who are you? Breton Bard. Ah, so she's telling us about the corpus disease. Turns men into twisted, mad lumps of flesh, superhumanly strong and full of hatred. You'll get corpus from fighting with diseased creatures. It's hard to get corpus, but harder to get rid of it. In fact, I hear there is no cure. She's a bard, entertainer. Ariel runs Ariel's trade house. So she's just telling us about people around. There's not much to do here, according to her. And that's fair.
Do you dress like that on purpose?
Oh, there's a ladder? This isn't vanilla. You look like you could use a friend, Outlander. Perhaps I can be your friend. I'd like you to help me recover some gold. So he's lost some money. So he wants me to find Fargoth's hiding place. Do I feel like I am loyal to Fargoth? Not particularly. I have only just met the man. He did give me a nice discount over here at the trade house, but I'll do it.
Ask or get going.
That's some
What,
outfit.
Outlander? Why do you disturb?
Come
you
on,
want
I
something?
haven't got all day, you know. I only have a few moments.
Oh my god, there's so many people up here. Most of these people are not familiar. Who the hell is the Morrowinder?
House of Trouble.
A new face in town. How refreshing. So tell me, how does it feel to live for months as a convict on a prison ship, to travel in a rotten and damp and tiny cell and be treated worse than a mangy dog all the time? Haha, relax. I don't have prejudices, and I've also seen a whole lot of low life, and you certainly don't look like one of them. Though I'd say that you do have some degree of adventuring spirit and may become a famous soldier of fortune one day, or notorious. The drive to go to uncharted places, the will to risk your neck pursuing opportunities for gaining glory or wealth, the ability to maneuver in hostile environments, make deals with unwilling or dangerous or despicable people, the aptitude for gambling your life, your fortune, or your good name for a slim chance to get that mythical big prize at the end. I know all about adventuring. Tell me more. I have traveled this ashy land for 20 years, fought with outlaws, witnessed the wonders of ancient Dwemmers, seen the horrors of undeath and abominations sent by evil gods, weathered out mean mockery of natives, survived their poison arrows and backstabbing daggers, and finally earned their respect and a place in their society. But my time has come, and I have to leave adventuring behind. But why? I'm getting old, and my instincts tell me that the next Ashlander's arrow shot at me will find a way to my heart. I also get some disturbing news from home, from Cyrodiil. My connections tell me that a serious trouble is brewing there, something sinister and scary. My brother has died recently, leaving his children without a guardian, and I want to be with them when all hell breaks loose. Next ship comes, and off I go. There's one thing however, during my adventuring days I've gathered a lot of luggage, most notably in an Ashlander tent. And I hope to find a buyer for this before I leave. More money will come in handy. Saran nightlife got the better of me last time and I've spent too much. Tell me more about this tent. This one is a masterpiece and something that I've considered a home during all these years. I'm reluctant to sell it, to be honest, but it is no use in carrying it to Cyrodiil, and I'd rather see it in possession of someone with strong spirit and adventurous spark. Someone like you, if my instincts are of any worth. Then just leave it here to be ripped to rugs by lazy locals who would be scared to death by a mere ghost. The tent is invaluable for staying alive in the harsh wastes of Molag Amur or barren ashlands, or even grazelands where nights can be very cold. It's perfect for when you need to weather out an ash storm, especially a blight storm, and those are much more frequent now. The best part is that it is enchanted, much more sturdy, lightweight, and supple than you can expect. You can carry it in one hand without any effort, but you probably still need a couple of guars to carry everything that's inside. I would like to buy your tent. Do you really? I'd be delighted, but are you sure you want to go to the wastes on your own? I'm working against my interest here, but you seem like a good person, and I should warn you. Morrowind is not for the faint of heart. The land is riddled with monsters of all kinds, and even ordinary beasts are very aggressive and will kill you if you're not careful. He's correct. And you can beat a bandit or two, but could you avoid Ashlander tradesmen who perfectly know the terrain, skilled with bows, and consider outlanders like you fair game? Wouldn't it be better for you to stick to larger settlements, where we are a bit more tolerated, and imperial legions maintain a semblance of authority of the common law? I am not afraid. Ah, excellent. My judgment was correct. You're a true adventurer at heart. Very well, here's a deal. I give you my tent for 4,000 drakes. That's a lot of money. The price is as low as it can go, but I doubt that I'll be able to find another soul as daring as you anytime soon. It doesn't help that mercenaries and glory hounds who come to the island usually don't have a single septum to their name. I was literally a prisoner 20 minutes ago. This is unfortunate, but expected of a newcomer. I'll be waiting here for some time, so you probably have a couple of weeks to find the money if you're interested. So, let's come back to this guy when we got 4,000 gold. I feel like
She's a hot woman, all right.
I've been playing for a while, however... Yeah, everyone fucking hates you in this mod pack. So, I'm going to call it here, actually. Ooh, what's that over there? That's not vanilla. There's so much to see, so much to do. Welcome to Morrowind, and I will see you guys
For questions, Outlander.
next time. I like your hat. See you guys then.